Hey guys, welcome to the video. I want to talk about how you can multiply your sales team's effort without having to hire loads of people. So the market is evolving. People know the deal, they know the drill. If they click a link, they put their phone number down, they book a call, they know they're jumping on a call to be sold to, right? People are not stupid. People are catching on. People know what the drill is. So the question is, how do we counter this within the market, right? Because it is the marketer's responsibility to drive quality to the sales team. If the sales team is sat there and they're not getting enough calls, or they're just constantly speaking to people with their backup, or they're broke, or they don't understand the offer, it is really, really hard for that salesperson. And they're not going to want to stay in your company, right? If they are not getting opportunity or the right opportunity, they are going to go somewhere else if they are good, right? So what happens, right? What can we do as a business or as a marketer to drive quality to the salesperson? Well, first of all, we need to make sure that there is enough quantity. We need to make sure that lead generation is actually happening. And that happens in a few different ways. We need to make sure that we have a good inbound system in place with paid advertising. So using Meta, Instagram, Facebook, potentially WhatsApp for some people, using LinkedIn. That advertising platform is developing, is getting better and better. And you can use YouTube as well, right? YouTube paid advertising can be a useful tool for bigger businesses. It's a great platform for scaling, not necessarily for starting. The other two, LinkedIn and Facebook, are great for starting things out. So we've got our inbound, right? We need outbound as well. We need to be going out and finding people and creating opportunities. And LinkedIn is probably one of the best platforms for that. You can go out, you can prospect, you can find people. People are on there to do business. They're on there to learn. They're on there to educate. It's a very sophisticated platform. And so if we can go out there and find the right people on LinkedIn, that's great, right? If you use Sales Navigator, you can get super, super specific. So you can find really, really niched markets on LinkedIn, connect with them, and they might not be doing business with you straight away. They might not necessarily raise their hand and book a call with you straight away. And that's great because we can qualify them, we can educate them, we can do things to, pass them on to the sales team so that the sales team is speaking to qualified people, right? So first of all, we need lead generation. We need to be driving people in. Two, and this is the next point, we need to send them somewhere to qualify them. And, I talked about this in the last video if you watched it. I'll link it below if you haven't, because that's a really, really important video. But we want to be using a centralized offer. So I'm really big on video sales letters. I've been creating them myself over the years for my own businesses. But I've also been using these for clients' businesses, right? Everything is geared and centralized around this video sales letter. So you have a headline and a claim. You have your video itself, which is kind of educating people further, and it's allowing you as the founder to showcase your personality. And then you're having, below that, case studies and things to reinforce the points in the video and get them to book. So if we're sending people there, that's great. They watch the video, educates them. Small percentage of the market are going to book straight away. Very small percentage, right? You might have like 5 to 10%, sometimes as low as 2%, depending on the market, depending on the claim. Like if there's a lot of skepticism, you're going to have a lower percentage. If there's if it's a more sophisticated audience you're marketing to, you're going to have a lower percentage as well. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means people need more touch points, they need more trust, they need more understanding before they book a call. And this is where content comes in, specifically looking at like LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram for the shorter format content, right? You can drive home smaller points and that's okay. But YouTube is going to be the game-changing platform for you to build long format content, right? Podcasting as well is another great platform for more educated buyers. Like if you get somebody onto an audio podcast, that's great. That's going to work really well. And the same principles apply to podcasting as it does to YouTube. But YouTube is a really good platform. You can get across in video. You can build a lot more, response because you're showing up as human. And at the end of the day, like whether we're looking at B2C or B2B, it's P2P. It's person to person. People are buying from a person. They might not be jumping on necessarily with the founder on the phone call to sell them, but they're going to be jumping on with your team, and your team is led by your ethos and values, and how you show up on video is going to communicate that to the prospect. And so it's really, really important to understand. So if we're showing up on video regularly, we're educating people around, the area of expertise that who are sharing in the marketplace. Maybe you're doing demonstrations, depending on what it is you do. If you have a service, if you have software potentially, you're able to demonstrate that and how it applies to the marketplace. So they understand it more. Because sometimes people just need to understand more about how you can actually help them and what you do, and how that applies to their situation right now. Storytelling is really, really important. This is often missed upon in the marketplace, but being able to tell stories, whether it's your own story and how you got to where you are, client stories and how they got to where they were, being able to overcome the struggles and things like that. That's a really important aspect of video as well. You can show up and share your stories, and that's going to resonate with the audience in a different way to necessarily educate them. The other aspect of this is reinforcing results. So you might be talking through a case study or showcasing results and talking through how you got those results with a client, or interviewing a client and how they kind of went through the journey with you and how you helped them as well. These are kind of different ways to reinforce your offer. But really, again, you're driving people back to your offer. So going back to your sales team, when they're jumping on calls with people, if they've been through, that centralized offer, that video sales letter, they understand the offer, or if they haven't booked through it straight away and they've gone through content and they've actually seen multiple videos of yours already and then booking a call, they're going to be so much more qualified on the call itself that your sales team is going to be really easy for them to close, right? Much easier than if somebody's just jumping on cold and they're having to really hard sell them. So it becomes a lot more promising for your sales team. You don't need as many salespeople because you're going to be closing a higher percentage of people as well. And chances are you might get a few less calls initially, but they're going to be much, much higher quality. And that's more important, right? A salesperson doesn't want to be on 5 hours of calls to close one person. If they can jump on 3 calls and close one person, that's going to be much better for them. And if it's you as the founder doing the sales right now, because you're in earlier stages, that's even more important. Because like myself, like I work with people at a high level, I'm the person who's deciding if I want to work with that client or not, because I do growth consulting and I'm actually working very closely. I'm doing a lot of done for you aspects with the client. So it's down to me if I want to work with that client or not. Like I don't pass on to a sales team at the moment because I want to make sure that we're taking on the right person, not just in terms of finances, where they're at in business, but in terms of their personality and if I actually want to enjoy working with them and kind of what the work that they're doing as well. Like for me, it's really important that I see the impact that they're having with their business. Otherwise, I don't want to work with them. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this is valuable. If you have salespeople that need more calls booked, don't just think about the advertising, think about the back end as well. But you need lead generation, and then you need a way of warming those leads up. You need a way of nurturing people. You need a way of re-engaging people and making sure they're going to a centralized offer page. If you don't have that in place, you want that built out for you, click the link below, book a call with me. We can have a chat and see if it makes sense for us to book that. Hope you found this useful. See you on the next one.